Good morning all Which Bookie followers, and welcome back to the Day 2 selections for the Royal Ascot meeting of 2022. We were a little bit close but no cigar yesterday, to be honest. Bring on the Night was the disappointing one. Looked like he was coming to win his race, didn't quite go by. Blackbeard ran okay, but obviously came, fourth I think in the end in the Coventry. Fox's Tails was a short head away from placing in his race, and Island Brave showed up for a decent away in the Copper House, but ultimately faded out of contention. I think today's racing is probably the trickiest through all 5 days, to be honest, so I'm keeping my powder relatively dry and only backing the 3 for Which Bookie, and that article went out last night. Starting off in the 305 in the Queen's Vas. I quite like Anchorage in this race. I actually put him up at 13-2. You can get slices of 15-2 this morning. I think it's a pretty decent each-way bet, to be honest, given that Aidan O'Brien has such a good record in this race. He had plenty declared in this race at the 5-day deck stage, and he's decided to go with Anchorage, who was staying on 5th over a mile 2 in a Group 3 on his reappearance. He looked to stare last year when 3rd in the Airfield Stakes at Leopardstown as well, so it wouldn't surprise me at all to see a new Anchorage up in trip here. Obviously a little bit of an unknown whether he'll quite get the 1 mile 6, because it is a half mile up in trip, but I think he's got a very good chance. 420 Duke of Cambridge Stakes. A race that kind of puzzles me, because Saffron Beach probably is the rightful market leader. At the same time, she has to carry a £5 penalty. Bashkarova did it nicely at Epsom last time out. I'm just a little bit dubious about that form, considering Potapova blew the start that day and was gaining on her at the line. And as a result, I'm just looking back to that Sun Chariot race last year and thinking that a £5 swing should surely bring Mother Earth well and truly into contention here with Saffron Beach. She was beaten 3 lengths by that filly in the Sun Chariot. She acts well around Ascot. She was 3rd in the Coronation Stakes last year at this meeting. She was actually 5th in the QE2 as well at the back end of the year, only beaten a few lengths, which was a big race considering she was a big price that day. I think at a price of 10-3 generally, I think Mother Earth has a massive chance in the Duke of Cambridge. The 5 o'clock race, the Royal Hunt Cup, is usually a minefield, one I probably should stay away from, but I was just intrigued by the race this year, and I was intrigued by the profile of Beau Pedro for Jessica Harrington and Shane Foley at 20-1. You can get 7 places each way with Paddy Power. I think you can get even 8 with Sky Bet. Now, you probably would have to take 14 or 16-1 if you wanted that added place. So I'd leave that up to yourselves what way you'd like to throw at it. But I think this horse has a good chance. He's performed off this mark of 103 before. He won a big field handicap at the Curragh last season and then was 3rd at the I was about to say the Dublin Racing Festival, Champions Weekend at Leopardstown over 7 furlongs, where he just got going too late. Was probably a little bit of an unlucky loser when he was favourite that day. 2 no-shows this year, but that has brought him back down to a mark of 103, and I think he's now willing to strike off that type of mark. I hope that he can be involved in the business end. He is 20-1 and a bit of an outside play in the Royal Hunt Cup. There's 3 selections for you. Hopefully they can do all right. They can cover themselves in a little bit of merit, and I'll see you again tomorrow for the Day 3 action.